Hi all, welcome to my channel. My name is Samail Ali and this video is going to the series videos of Linux, and in these videos I am going to cover user management, how to manage user in Linux. So here first I am going to cover why we need multiple users in Linux and how to create user, how to manage user. These are the things I'm going to cover, and please subscribe my channel. I'll be just posting a lot of videos regarding Linux, AWS and DevOps tools. So without wasting time, let's get started. So here, as I said earlier, user management in Linux. So how to manage user in Linux. So before that, why we need multiple users in Linux? Maybe in some other also operating system, Windows, so say some other operating system, it is there because user is very important. And why we need those users, I'll just going to explain now. So the first point is isolation. So each user has its own home directory and files, preventing unauthorized access. Suppose I am a user, I have some confidential data. If all users are coming and they are able to access each other's directory, it would be a big problem, because it is, if I am storing maybe the password or credentials, so other user will be able to see and he can hack my system and he can take my personal data as well. So because of that, the isolation is very much important. Permissions also, different users can have different permissions on files and directories, enhancing security. So for instance, only the root user can install system-wide software or modify critical system files. So if I have one files, maybe different teams will be working on that file. So I can set different permission for different users. Maybe for admin user, I'll give the full access. Maybe for some other user, I'll give different access. Maybe only read only permission. Like this kind of, we can set the permissions also. Access control. User accounts can be blocked or restricted. It means like if I am having a lot of users, I can lock. If some user is doing some nasty, so that time I can lock it, unlock it, that particular account. Or else if some user is not available as of now, but maybe that account can be hacked, so because of that we can lock that account through access control. Audit trials, this is the important thing, because if in one file, like in one user a lot of people are using, so that time we cannot track the things, who logged in, who did the changes. To view and track all the things, will have different multiple users. So I can easily identify which user logged in, which user modified. So all those things it can be trackable. There are a lot of other regions are there. So it is process management. So each user's processes run with that user's permission. This prevents one user's process from interfering with another user's processes or the overall system. It means like if one user have all the access, he will be running all the process together, whether it is really needed or not. So it will be interfering with some other user's process. So that time it would be a big problem. So to segregate that, process management also is there for user. Separation of duties. Different users will have different tasks. Maybe different, here you can say different roles and responsibilities. For example, system administrators have different privileges compared to regular users. Because system administrator who has the full access, regular user will not needed the full access. So we can like segregate the work of different people for different permissions and different roles and responsibilities. Service account. Separate user accounts can be created for running specific services and applications. This isolation ensures that if a service is compromised, the attacker does not gain access to the entire system. So service account, like we can create account for specific service also, not only user specific service also. Resource allocation. Different users can be allocated different amounts of resource, system resources, memory disk. This is particularly important on multi-user systems where resources need to be managed and balanced among users. So this is also another main reason, because we can allocate the resource particular user. It is not like one user will use almost 90% or 100% of that CPU or memory. It is not like that. We can create user and we can assign some specific like system resources to that user, so that that user will not get all the resources from the server. So these are the main points I just explained you. There may be some other documents or maybe other points are there. So but if you know this kind of thing, so it will be helpful for you. I hope till here everyone understood. Now next I'm going to create user add through user add command. So before that, I already connected to server. So if you don't know how to connect the server, I have recorded previous videos, so you can watch that and you can refer it. Okay, so how to create a user? To create a user, I'll use user add command. Okay, user add. Then which user you want to create with name? I'll say I want to create Samail user. Okay, before that I'll check whether Samail user is present or not. So what it is telling, the id command is there. Through id command I can get whether user is present or not. So here it is telling id Samail, no such user. So what I'll do, I'll create Samail user. Now if I'm doing id Samail, now it got created. What are the things it created? It created user id, that is 1001, name Samail, GID 1001 Samail. This is GID means group ID, and groups means 1001. One user can have multiple groups, so that's what it is, separately it is giving. But main group will be there, UID, GID will be there. Whenever you are creating any user, by default this will be there. Okay, so once I created the user, by default home directory of the user will create. Where is the home directory? cd/home. In/home, every user's home directory will be created by default. So if I am doing ls-l, see Samail got created. So if user wants to do something, by default he will land into his own home directory, that is called with username. Here I created with Samail user, so it created Samail. If let me create another user, maybe test user. Now if I am doing ls-l, okay, let me go to home directory. So test user also created. If I am doing id test, see UID 1002. So first 1001, the next user is 1002. If I am creating another user, it will be 1003. Let me create another user also. User add test 2. Now if I am doing test 2, see 1003, it got created, and home directory also should create. See test and test 2, home directory also it is created. Okay, but Linux is saving some information, like user information, where these users information are stored. So the path is cat etc passwd. So here in last it will be keep adding. If you are creating different users, it will be keep adding over here. First I created Samail, then this is password, this is UID, this is GID, and this field is for comment. I'll explain this. And another thing is home directory and which bash it got, like which shell. So all the informations are stored in where /etc/passwd. So this is the file. Here it is storing all the user information. Okay, now I just created user add. So by default it created a lot of stuffs. What it created? It created uid, guid, then home directory, which shell, command. So a lot of things it by default created. What if I don't want to create the by default name? I want to create with my own name. That time what? There are a lot of options are there. Hyphen d means home directory. Here let me check. As of now, home directory for test2 user is home test2. I'll say no, I don't want this home test2. I want some other name. How to do that? Through user as add command. So what we'll do? User add hyphen d. Okay. Then what directory you want? New directory. Maybe new name. I'll say home new dir. Okay. So user add hyphen d home dir. For which user I want to do. Okay, maybe I'll say test3. So it got created. Let me check it got created or not. See, my username is test3, but home directory I created with my own name, that is new directory. So like this we can create others also. uid also I can change, gid also I can change. So suppose I want gid uid of maybe 5000. For which user? Maybe Sam user. I'll check passwd. So here it created 5,000. I created with my own count. See, earlier it was supposed to, if I am creating, it was supposed to create 1005, but I have explicitly mentioned that I don't need 1005, I need 5,000. If I am doing id Sam also, see, it created UIG also 5,000, GID also 5,000, groups 5,000. So like this, there are a lot of options are there. You can go ahead and use that. Maybe command also I can say. What I'll do, which command I want to give, maybe I'll say, this is my first user, or else you can say application user. Okay, for which user? I'll say SAM2 user. Now if I'm telling id SAM2, it got created with next available UID and GID, because last time I used 5000, then it came with 5001. So now it understood that previously all field, but it is not field. That's what we should careful with this UID and GID while creating. Now if I'm checking etc passwd, see here this comment section came into picture. From here I can be able to identify whether it is application user or it is database user. So this is the really good part. This is application user. I have just commented it because of that. So like this I can change the shell also. User add hyphen shell. Here bin bash shell is there, but I don't want bash shell. I want only shell. So what I'll do, user add hyphen s bin, maybe I want shell, bin shell for what user? Maybe sam5. So if I'm doing cat etc passwd, see this shell also changed. Earlier by default shell was bin bash, but now I changed it to bin shell. So like this I can use also. I can delete the user also. To delete the user, what is the command? User del hyphen r. User del hyphen r. Maybe I want to delete sam user. Now if I am telling cat etc passwd, see sam user is gone. If I am doing id sam also, it is telling no sam user found, because I have deleted it. Through which command? User del hyphen r. Through this command, user del hyphen r, then sam. Now I can set the password for user. How to set password for user? I'll say passwd command. For which user you want to save the password or set the password, maybe I'll say sam2 is there. So what it is telling? It is telling changing password for user sam2, new password. Maybe I'll give one password. It is telling fails dictionary check. This is too simple. Okay, I will file. This is for test. So what it is telling, all authentication tokens updated successfully. If you are getting this message, means you have successfully set your password. Okay, now if I want to log in with password, I'll just switch user sam2. It is asking for password, so whatever password I gave, I'll just see. Now I logged in with who? sam2. How can I check who am I? Yes, on my previous videos I already explained what is this command. If you want to refer, you can refer, you can check that video and can get the knowledge about who am I command. So now with sam2 user I just logged in. There's things done through like for new user. Now what if I want to change something for already created user or existing user? So for that we need to use user mode command. User mode. So new ID also now I can change. Now if I'm telling, suppose let me check at etc passwd. Now this is their user mode 5001, right? Also no, I don't want 5001, I want 1005 only. For which user? 5000 user is there, so I'll say for sam2 user. Now if I'm checking whether it is changed or not, see sam2 came, uid came 1005. I can change the gid also with the same way. Instead of u, I'll use just g. Okay, this group is not available, so I need to create manually this group. So I am not going to create now. I'll be covering this group creation on my next videos maybe. So like this we can modify the existing user. Okay, now I can change the user login also, different name also. Suppose sam2 is there, I'll say no, I don't want sam2, I want maybe sam5. Let's try it. sam5 for which user? sam2 user, right? Okay, sam5 already exists. Okay, I'll say maybe sam6. See, now if I'm telling cat etc passwd, sam6 user came. Earlier it was sam2, now sam6 user came. So like this we can modify existing user also. I can change the home directory of the user also. Let me check. Suppose this home directory is there, home sam2, right? But I want to do like with sam6. Let's try to do user mode hyphen d. What I want to change? Home directory, right? Home directory means d. What I want to do? I have to do home 6, right? 6 for which user? sam6 user, right? Now let me check etc passwd whether it has changed or not. See, it got changed. Now there is no sam2 available. For delete, I already explained user del command. User del maybe sam6 I want to delete. Now if I'm checking, sam6 is not there. If I'm doing id sam6, it is also not available. So I hope you all understood how we can manage our user in Linux through command line. If you like my video, please subscribe it so that you will get notification whenever I am uploading a new video. because I'll be completing all the series videos of Linux, AWS and DevOps. And please subscribe channel. Thank you.